don't know if I titled this video correctly. I'm going to try to title it in a way that it gets out there to the people who need to hear it, or the target audience of this video. But I'm asking you in advance if you can share this video, if you can like this video, if you have someone who you think it pertains to, if you can send it to them. A lot of times after I do videos, I get messages about the videos. I get texts, I get Facebook inbox messages, and people telling me, different messages, how they like them, and how they were helpful, but the likes don't reflect such. And even if you don't want to comment on the post, on the video, liking the video helps get it out there to more people. It helps, it does something with the algorithm, and it helps more people see it. So if you watch this video and you like the message, okay, baby. If you watch this video and you like this message and you think it will be helpful, actually hit the like button on the video and share it, please, because and you'll see why I'm saying that when I get to it. So I'm doing this video because I know when I first started working for the transportation department, the pay was an adjustment. The pay was a huge adjustment. However, like I said in one of my most recent previous videos, I got exactly what I asked for. So I'm in a lot of mom groups, and I'm in quite a few stay-at-home mom groups. I'm in lots of work-from-home mom groups, and a lot of people, and me as a four-time mom, can relate to this. A lot of women struggle with leaving their children and going to work. And it's something about when you're old. I struggle with it as a younger mom, but it's something about when you're an older mom that makes it, to me, it seems like it's even deeper, right? So it seems to be a scarcity, I can't even say the word. It's a shortage, let me say that, since my tongue can't form the words today. It seems to be a shortage of work from home jobs. A lot of the people who are looking for the work from home, it's like a certain amount of people, they're all looking for the same jobs, and it's a lot of competition out there. And then a lot of these work from home jobs, they have, the process is ridiculous, right? Then you have the stay-at-home mothers, where a lot of them are finding that with inflation and the way the economy is right now, their husbands are stressed to the max. They have to work double and triple time to bring in the money to be able to sustain the household. But they agreed as a family that the mother being home was the best thing for the children. then I'm finding, you know, it's a mixed bag in the stay-at-home mom group. So you have the ones that I just described, the mothers who their husbands or, you know, partners, the money just isn't stretching the way it used to stretch. So they need more income. Then there are those who they are stay-at-home moms, and you can see the end of the relationship coming. But she's been this stay-at-home mom forever. Doesn't have a whole lot of job skills, or may, you know, have acquired some job skills before becoming a stay-at-home mom, or may have a degree that, you know, was never used, and just has a lack of recent job experience, and multiple children, and the price of daycare, like, it doesn't even justify. She would basically be working to pay daycare, but she can see the end of her relationship coming, and she doesn't want to be left up the creek. Then there are the stay-at-home moms in the group where they are stay-at-home wives, stay-at-home wives and mothers to men who aren't the type of men who you would want to be a stay-at-home wife and mother to. The money is there, but he uses it as a way to control, or a way to punish, or, you know, things like that. So she feels like they feel like they need their own income, but they agree that they wholeheartedly believe, both parties, that the mother being home with the children is the best thing for the children. And again, daycare prices are the roof, right? Then they're the ones who they are stay-at-home wives and mothers to wonderful men who are holding it down. The money is there, but she's just used to having her own, and she's used to contributing. She, you know, the ones that don't feel like they don't want their men to have to bear the whole burden of the finances, or, you know, they don't want to have to get money from him to buy him a gift for his birthday, or, you know, holidays, or whatever it may be, right? And then there are the ones who, and, you know, I was only technically a stay-at-home mom for a short while. Well, for a while. I mean, but I worked too. But when I was on maternity leave, and, you know, even when, you know, I was unemployed and I was just doing my bachelor's and stuff, I could always find something to do. I mean, when me and Neighborhood Insurance, baby, we was everywhere. We enjoyed our day. I was never the bored at home type. But you have the stay-at-home moms who, you know, it has nothing to do with the men not bringing enough money. They have wonderful partners. They're just bored home all day, right? And they want something to do, or they want to be able to contribute to the household. I feel like this job that I am working now is the perfect solution to a lot of those scenarios I just named, especially for the ones who do have a second income in a home, and you know, things are going well. because it's not a whole lot of money, but there is potential for more depending, and it is like the perfect, you're not technically a stay-at-home mom, but depending on the district that you work for, or what transportation company you work for, what schools you service, you have anywhere between 3 to 4.5 hours in between your shifts. So let me just think. I get home around, let's just say 9:15. And I don't have to get back on the road until 2. And during my run, I could technically leave out a little later than 2 if I wanted to, but I still leave out at 2. And sometimes I'm the first vehicle. A few times I was the first vehicle there at the school to pick up the students in the afternoon. So that's basically 5 hours in between my shifts. So if you look at, it's not technically being a stay-at-home mom because you're working outside of the home, but if you're working for a district or a company where you can take your children with you, it's like, okay, let's just say you share a vehicle, right? Let's just say you share a vehicle with your husband, and you and the baby get up in the morning and you go and y'all drive him to work, and then you come back home, and then you leave back out when he gets off work, and you pick him up when he gets off. Look at it that way. You know what I mean? Like, you are getting up, you're taking students to school or work, and then you're coming back home. You have the rest of your day. You have your time to do whatever. Then you pick the children back up, drop them off, and then you come back and you still have the rest of the day. My day is over with in the afternoon. No, we don't get any students today, baby. I think I'm done in the afternoon by like 4:15, if that. So it's like you're packing your baby up in the morning, or your children up in the morning. Y'all going for a ride. Y'all coming back home. There's the occasional. We have a once a month safety meeting. There may be a few meetings sprinkled in here and there. And you're getting paid to just drive, pick children up, drop them off, and come back. So you're not technically a stay-at-home mom, but I look at it like it's the perfect cross between being a stay-at-home mom and being a work-from-home mom. Because the goal is still the same. The goal is still being achieved. Your children are with you. You're with them. You're not missing out on any milestones, and you're still able to bring in money. And this is the part that I really want to stress. If you have time to prepare for this, like if you found out that you're pregnant and you're like, oh my gosh, we wasn't planning for this, or the money just isn't there, and we agreed that I would be a stay-at-home wife and mom, and what am I going to do? If you're comfortable driving the school bus, start your training now. Start your training now, before the baby is even born. I'm not sure how it would work with the baby on a school bus though. But even the van, even driving the van, Well, no, I'm wrong, because when I test drove the bus the very first time, she said the the trainer, she said I think she had twins. They were in car seats. It's special straps that they put in, and the babies, one would be in the seat. Roadkill. They were special straps, and she had one baby in the car seat on this side, on the passenger side, and one on the driver's side. 2 car seats, not like toddlers, babies. And that's why she did it, because she didn't want to pay for daycare. And yes, so back to my point. If let's just say you're pregnant, and maybe it was unexpected, and you're like, what are we going to do? Because I can't put my baby in daycare. We can't. The cost of daycare, all of those things. We agreed that I would be a stay-at-home mom. This is happening too fast. Blah 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 blah. Start your training to get your CD out now. Start driving before the babies are done. Find your rhythm. Get comfortable with the job, because the CDL would be the one. Driving the school bus would be the one that would bring in the most money. And you have time to prepare. Or maybe if you guys know that you're planning for children in the next 2 years or something like that, and this is something that you think you could do, start preparing now. Because I made videos about how the money wasn't money in, and things of that nature. However, I also didn't have time to prepare. I just knew that we needed a change for me, driving to that job every day in Baltimore, and felt like I was barely seeing my son. I felt like my mother was raising my son. We needed a change, so I made a decision on the fly. But had I had time to prepare for this, because everything is still, I made a big life transition, but my bills are still the same bills from before I took this pay cut. So of course it was going to be an adjustment for me. But if I had time to prepare, if I had even a cushion, because I was laid, I was unemployed for 6 months, a whole month of which I didn't get the unemployment. The unemployment finally, I would know it was more than 6 months. I was 7, 8 months I wasn't working. Yeah, so if I had time to prepare, this would be perfect. It would be perfect. I would have, and y'all know, well, y'all probably don't know, but I am a planner. But some things you can't plan for. But if I had time to actually plan and prepare for this, it would definitely be perfect. I'm finding my rhythm now. God is still being creative with the ways in which He pays my bills. I am letting tomorrow worry about itself. But this isn't about me. Well, let me go back to me for a second. When I say that it is the perfect, cross between being a stay-at-home mom and a work-from-home mom, to the point where I used to, basically every free moment I had, I would be in the middle of the night and the first thing in the morning, during my lunch break, in between calls when I was at the other job, I would be literally looking for work-from-home jobs. All day, every day. Like, it became a force. If I got paid to apply for jobs, I would be rich. That's how many jobs I was applying for. I'm still in, I still on like a lot of the email and the text list about, work from home jobs. I don't even read. I don't know why I haven't unsubscribed yet, because I'm a person where, like, if I had thought about it, I probably would have went into talent acquisition, because I'm always trying to find a perfect job for somebody. Like, I'll see this job and I'm like, oh, this would be perfect for somebody. Let me send this. I think they can do this. Or they can, stuff like that. So that's part of the reason I don't come out of the groups, because a lot of times I see jobs, like I'll see something, I'll send it to somebody else. But I cannot tell you, like, I don't even apply anymore. I don't apply. I don't search. The emails come in, and majority of the time I don't read them. Like if something catches my eye and the title catches my eye and I think it'll be good for somebody that I know, I may send it to them. But I don't even read them anymore. I don't read them. I haven't applied for a work from home job in ages, because if I'm completely honest with myself, even if a work from home job was to come through, it would have to be completely flexible, because I still have a child, you know, and they want you, you know, they technically, you're not even supposed, like, it's supposed to be set up just like you're at work. Like, you're supposed to have childcare and all of that, right? It would have to be completely flexible, which I thought I found when I, you know, got that first job after I resigned from my job, when I wasn't going back in there, after I had neighborhood insurance, baby. And I like to be, so when we did an unofficial interview, we did like a phone interview first, and I was completely transparent. I told her my situation. I told her I had this baby. I resigned from my job because I was not putting him in daycare. I lived in a state where it was just me and his dad, and you know, dad was a truck driver. Dad is a truck driver. You know, his schedule was what his schedule was. I didn't have anyone to, you know, it was just me and his dad, and dad's work schedule didn't allow, we couldn't have that, you work one shift. It just wasn't that way. He's a truck driver, y'all know how that is, right? So I was like, you know, I was completely transparent. I'm not putting them, you know. And she was like, oh, well, the things that I would need you to do for me, it would be, you know, you could do it when you put the baby to sleep at night, when he's napping, blah, blah, blah. Like, almost a too good to, but I guess in hindsight, almost a too good to be true type thing, right? But, and then, you know, once I started working, it wasn't as lax than all of that stuff as it was presented to be. Plus the pay was $5,000 less than what was stated to me on the phone, you know, too. But I made it work. We made it work as best as we could for a year and a month.
At the stop sign, turn left onto West Green Street.
You know, we made it work as best as we could for a little over a year, and you know, I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for it because it gave me that year that I was able to, you know, be home with my baby. It was a stepping stone, you know, it was a stepping stone. But it wasn't, you know, like she would say, like I would call her and he would be, you know, he was probably, when I started the job, he was just about to turn 1. And like she would hear him in the background, she was like, oh, I love hearing him. It just centers me. It helps keep me grounded. You know, she didn't have children or anything like that. I just love it. I just love it. And, you know, it was originally, you know, you don't have to have your camera on because I know the baby's in the background, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, it was okay, you have to have your camera on, like when we have a meeting, and I was fine with that. But every now and then, you know, he may climb up in my lap, and then he was like, well, shit, you know. So she had to do what she had to do, and I had to do what I had to do, and it worked for as long as it worked. But my cousin Ebony, I remember her saying, she owns a daycare, one of the only 2 daycares that I would ever feel comfortable with him being in, right? And I remember her saying she was working a work from home job, and she when her children had to be quiet in their own home for 8 hours, she was like, no, I can't do this. You know, my children shouldn't have to be quiet in their own home. So she quit and she opened a daycare. And I feel like daycare cheapens it because she's so much more than a daycare. She's awesome. She's awesome with those children. And like I said, she's one of the only 2 places that I would even consider having neighborhood insurance baby at. But she makes a good point. And a lot of people keep telling me, I watch how you are with what they call them on my other socials, they call them Blue. I watch how you are with Blue. Why don't you open up a daycare, blah blah blah. It doesn't give me the flexibility that and one time I went to school. Y'all know I went to school for everything. I went to school for they made you, when you went to Maryland, to get to become certified to be a child care provider, you have to take early childhood education classes. And I did. Like, I considered it. I would take the classes and everything, but it just doesn't offer me the flexibility. I want to be able to get up and go if I need to get up and go. And you can't just get up and go if you have a house full of, other people's children, right? I also kind of, out of desperation, when I was like, I don't want to go back into the, work into the office and all of that, I considered being a nanny to like maybe 1 or 2 children around his age. Just something. I considered a lot of things, but if I'm completely honest, although I do drive people's children to and from school, I wouldn't want to have other people's children for 10 to 12 hours during the day, because it just doesn't offer me the flexibility that I want. So I'm saying I think something just popped up. I think they may be about to cut my video off. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, if you are a mother in any of those situations that I named, and you're looking for a way to bring in money, or you're someone who knows a mother who's looking to bring in money and they fit any of those situations that I named, and they want to be able to be home with their children, not miss out on any milestones and all of that, but they really need to be able to earn some money, this is something to consider. The school van driver or the school bus driver, look into if your local district allows you to bring your children with you. Some don't, but many do. This may be what you have been looking for. Not only do you and look into if it's a school district, you probably won't be able to get unemployment for the summer or the winter, so look probably into a transportation company. If the unemployment piece during the summer and the winter is important to you. If not, if the retirement is more important to you, like the pension is more important to you, then go for the school district. But just weigh your options, figure out what's important to you. But this is really a job that will allow you to have really have work-life balance. Really allow you to be present for your children. Really allow you to be present for your husband and your partner. Really allow you to be present for yourself. Because that split shift, that time in between, not only that, you're off on all school, you're off on school holidays, you're off. I was off this entire week for the Thanksgiving break. I'm off 2 weeks for the Christmas and New Year break. The other random school days off. And, I live in Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, we don't drive when it snows. The schools are closed. They talk about a sprinkle of snow in Pennsylvania. It's closing school, so I'm off when I'm off. So even though I plan to homeschool neighborhood insurance baby, if he was in school, it would still be perfect for me. I wouldn't have to worry about, I gotta find a babysitter for him since school's closed and I gotta work. And like, I didn't already plan. In this summer, I'm going to Ohio. We going to Ohio to meet my niece and nephew in person for the first time. I don't have to worry about taking days off, asking, can I, it really is. It really could be a perfect solution for so many mothers and or fathers, you know. And if I had known about, or if I could have done something like this when and the reason why I'm doing this video, because a lot of people don't even know that that's an option. I didn't even know that I could do this and bring him with me until I test drove that other school bus. You know, I didn't know. Well, I knew I could bring him with me. I saw it in their advertisement. You know, they're hiring. Now hiring advertisement, but I didn't know I could do it on the van. I thought you could only do it on the bus. But it's a lot. So many people don't know that this is an option. So I want this to get out there, because I want more women to know that it's an option, and I want them to know that there is a way to make money and still be present for your children and your family and your spouse, and be able to have dinner cooked by lunchtime. If I could have done something like this when my older children were younger, I would have. I really, really would have. And once I figure out the whole, adjust my everything to fit the money that I now make, it's going to be perfect for us, to the point where I'm telling y'all, I was constantly looking for jobs. I don't even do it no more, because I knew before I went back in that office, I already felt like the whole 9 to 5 in the office was no longer my life. I think I said that on a video before. I know that's not my life anymore. I said that maybe over a year ago, right? And I know that, but I did take that job for 7 months out of necessity, or what I thought was necessity, because I probably could have done this if I, like hindsight, but because I'm making it work, you know what I mean? Anyway, I probably could have done it, but I'm a Taurus, and we're big on our security, but anyway, so I've learned to never say never, but God willing, I will never work a traditional job again. I'm gonna put it like this: it's not in my plans to ever work a traditional job again, ever. And I'm gonna keep saying it. God didn't give this baby to me at 41 just for me to spend majority of my waking hours in somebody's job, and to get home and be super tired and don't have the time or the energy or the mental whatever to give him my all. God didn't give me a baby at 41 for that. God didn't give me a baby that he gave me a dream about 9 years before he was born for that. So this job, it is a blessing in many, many ways. And no, I don't see myself doing it forever, but who knows? I have an end date in mind, because I have some other plans that would also give me, the freedom that I want for me and him. But it is really like, you can't have your whole summer off, every holiday, every school, like this, most of your day to yourself. So I just I really did this video because it was laid on my heart to let other mothers know there's a way. There is a way. And you can truly have work-life balance. And if you plan for it correctly, you can make the money work for you, even if you don't have a partner at home. If you're able to plan for it in advance, you can make the money work for you without having to work on the weekends like me, if you have that time to plan. So this video is, I just wanted to know there's always a way, we just don't always know the way. And I'm one thing, if you know me, Like, for those who know me, I don't really take no, like, when I know something can be done, I'm gonna figure it out. And I kept saying, what I'm trying to do is not something that has never been done before. It's, the way is out there. I just gotta figure it out, you know? And this was the way. I will keep y'all posted. I mean, like anything, it's going to be something that's not ideal. Like, I don't, but it's getting better. Like I was saying in my other videos, I don't like to have to wake him up as early as I did. But see, now that I'm able to park my van home, we don't even have to get up as early as we used to. We don't even have to get up as early as we used to. Even that extra, I don't know about y'all, but for my toddler, even an extra 20 minutes of sleep makes a difference. A lot of times, you know, in the morning he wakes up on his own, and I don't have to wake him up. That extra whatever sleep, it makes a difference. I notice a difference in my baby. I don't know about y'all, you know, with the extra little bit of sleep. So it's gotten better, and I know it's going to keep getting better. I got my first technical. I got my first check from them was the 3 hours from the training. I didn't get my first check from them yet. It'll be tomorrow, but the bonus was on there. Remember I said they got the bonus the day I didn't expect to get it this fast, so that I started just in time. So I got remember the bonus I said they pay you in 3 parts. I wasn't able to get the first part because I guess they paid that in December. So I got that, you know, it's on this check. And you know, I had a couple training days on there. So it's going to be, trust God. Have faith, trust God. My grandmother visited me in a dream in 2017, and she had that message for me. So every time I see the numbers 829, which is her birthday, I'm reminded to have faith, trust God. It's gonna work out. But sometimes we gotta struggle to figure things out so we can get the message out there, so other people don't have to struggle in the same ways we did. We can be ahead of the game, so we can give them the info so they can figure it out soon. So this is what this video is for me. It's the neighborhood insurance lady. Neighborhood insurance baby is back there knocked out because he didn't have his nap today. And I'm wishing you love, laughter, life insurance, pieces of the puzzle, your children being transported to and from school safely, and the perfect work-life balance, and options that you never knew were available. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon.